We come here to verse 5 of the 8th chapter of the Gospel of John. We're in the midst of this drama that's been cooked up by the religious leaders, which is an attempt to capture Jesus in some kind of contradiction, to embarrass him, to somehow or other remove him as a threat to their own status in the popular opinion. And so in service of that objective, they have gone out and found a woman who allegedly was caught in the very act of adultery, and they've now brought her, paraded her in front of this entire group that was there listening to Jesus teach, and of course to Jesus himself. So the entire situation is really rather outrageous as the story is told, and as familiar as it is, if we actually put ourselves into the situation, we have to grant that it was something of a remarkably brazen kind of action on the part of these leaders, having no particular interest in the welfare of the woman whatsoever, but only trying for their own interest to somehow defame Jesus, to embarrass him. Well, they brought the woman here, and now they begin to say to Jesus these words. In preposition takes the dative. Here is the dative article, in to nomo, in the law. Nomos means law. And so it's the dative singular masculine noun, in the law, the postpositive des, so but in the law. Hemen, this is the first person plural dative pronoun, to us would be the idea of it. So in the law, Moses, Moses here, Moses to us. This is the word enatelato. It's from entelomai. It's a combination of a couple of words. The word en, of course, is borrowed from the preposition in, and then telos, which means the end or purpose of something. Telomai would be the middle form of that. It's a deponent verb. And so it carries over in the sense of the word as to command or to insist or to set something as a purpose to be pursued. It's not the normal word for command, but it is a word that suggests that it was an instruction that was given with a certain purpose in mind. So in the law, Moses gives the command to us, the dative there, the indirect object of this tas, the accusative plural article toiautos. This is an adjective. It means something on the order of this sort, this kind of person, this sort of person is the idea here. And of course, the sort of person they have in mind is this woman who's been taken in the act of adultery. So Moses gave the command to us, this sort, and then lithodzane. From lithodzo, it means I stone, as in stoning someone as a form of execution. This is the infinitive of the word. So Moses commands that someone of this sort should be stoned, that is the proper result. That's really kind of a simplification of the Mosaic Code. Won't take time to explore that in detail at this point, but of course the standards under which that particular form of execution would be applied were somewhat more restrictive than what is suggested here. But one way or another, certainly the consequences, the outcome could be grim for a person caught in this particular kind of criminal activity. And so they put the question to Jesus, Su, this is the second person singular pronoun, you, and it's emphatic here because it comes right up front in the phrase, you therefore, un, postpositive, te, this is the interrogative pronoun, what, and then leges, again, second person singular, present active indicative. You, therefore, what do you say? And it's, of course, putting the finger right on Jesus. What do you say to this? Now, the law says one thing, Moses says one thing. That's his requirement. How about you? And of course, whatever Jesus says at this point is going to get him in trouble. If he says, go ahead and stone her, then of course that gets him in a certain degree of political trouble with the Romans. If he says, don't stone her, then it appears that he's contradicting Moses. No matter which way Jesus comes out on this, it seems that they're going to have him caught. And that's exactly what they're trying to accomplish.